Welcome to the NCAA tournament second round press conference. We're here with head coach Paul Crowley of Christopher Newport alongside senior Gunnar White after a 42-28 loss to Susquehanna. Coach, if you wouldn't mind just taking the mic and give us an opening statement about today's game.
Credit to Susquehanna. They came out and played really well, especially early on. I thought we started really slow, and at the end of the day, it's my fault as a head coach. We had 15 days off, and I thought we started a little bit slow, and that's a possibility coming in, with that long of a break. But it certainly happened. So, that's on me as the head coach, getting our guys ready to go. But credit to them. Even down 28-7, and things not going their way like it had the rest of the season. They kept fighting, kept playing, and I thought handled themselves the right way. That more than anything probably is what makes me proud.
Open it up to questions.
Gunnar, your offense has been so prolific all year. They did a great job of getting pressure up front. What did you see that from them much in the previous game? It was a bit of a shock in a way.
No, it wasn't a shock. They did the same thing in the same blitz last game. Just got to block it better, honestly. It's as simple as that. We just weren't picking it up. Maybe, sometimes just know when you're hot, get the ball out faster. But I credit them. They just brought it. They came fast. They played physical. That's the game.
Paul, they were, I think, third in the country or something like that in third down conversions, and they were 8 of 9 in the second half alone today. How obvious answer, but how hard is it to catch up when they keep just moving the ball like that?
Yeah, even going into the season, we talked about the game scripts we wanted to try to avoid was, teams going on long drives, and obviously to go on long drives, you have to convert third downs. And we knew going in, they were 55% on the year, so they were really good at doing that. Credit to their quarterback. He made a lot of plays in some of those situations where, he made plays outside of structure and kept things going for them. I thought, I'll look at the stats, but we actually did a decent job, I thought, stopping the run and stopping their running back. But that kid did a phenomenal job of making plays on third downs.
Did you know much about the kid, number 10 for them, Kredensky? He hadn't played a lot this year because he was injured.
No, not really, to be honest. They had number 84 playing, who was a talented receiver from that didn't play. And one had been a player for him, then obviously 24 was the rookie of the year kid. But I think it was probably I'll have to watch the film. If his stats were good, his stats were good. But I thought it was a symptom of good protection and the quarterback making some plays.
Can you talk about the first half interceptions, a couple weird bounces, maybe don't go your way, and how much that affected the momentum?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help. And, the first one was probably a pass interference, and we knew that was something that, they do a lot. They grab and hold in the secondary, and I think the referees will admit that. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say that on the NCAA interview, but that probably should have been a pass interference call. And then the second one, great job by their D-line at tipping things. And to the question of the pressure you asked Gunnar, the symptom of a lot of things. Our offensive line certainly could have done better. They did some good things schematically, and then, we probably held on to the ball a couple times too long.
I think on their first two drives, there were, I guess, a breakdown and cover somewhere where one ended up being the touchdown, the other ended up being basically setting up a touchdown. What happened there? Is the breakdown?
Yeah, I'd have to go back to watch, the specifics of what the coverage was. I know the first one was we had him sacked, and then, he got out of the sack. And, once a play goes on longer than you anticipate, you got to be able to plaster, you got to be able to match. And, we didn't do a good job of that. But if you, don't allow him to scramble, it kind of prevents that in the first place.
Gunnar, can you talk about that drive where Xavier kind of led the way down the field? You had a couple carries there at the end where, it was clearly you had shifted to more of a run first offense there. And just talk about what was the feeling on the sideline? Was there an extra boost of motivation? Like, hey, Coach Crowley talked about it a little bit in his opening statement about how you guys rallied even being down a couple of scores.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like that had us going, at least offensively. Momentum started building. We always feel like we can run the ball at people, the offensive line and the backs, regardless who's in the backfield. We feel like we can run the ball and make some plays happen. And the sideline, we were feeling pumped up, just hoping to get a stop and to keep it rolling, and chips just didn't fall our way.
Coach, you talk about Gunnar, but also Xavier. What an exceptional effort he gave you today in a situation where obviously dealing with a little bit of injuries with Dre.
No, I think that's one of the coolest things about this. This having been year 4, and it's a big reason for our success is you have the depth of 4 recruiting classes, and you have just mature kids that have grown and fought and earned their way through the program. So you look at it from a big picture perspective. Gunner being our starter, and Jordan early on being our number 2, we felt pretty good about, and then Dre being almost the rookie of the year, and those guys being out, and Xavier Kennedy, kid that's a great special teams player, a senior that didn't have a lot of expectations going into the year, is able to run for 10 yards a carry or whatever he was. And those guys, the offensive line did a good job blocking in the run game. Running backs obviously did a great job. And, probably should have leaned in the run game a little bit more early. That was on me, probably trying to throw the ball a little too much in the first half.
Gunner, it's probably unfair to ask you this half an hour after the game, but your career here, 42 games, I believe it was, 31 wins, probably the most prolific 4-year run in this school. Looking back, how rewarding was it for you?
It was awesome. I say all the time, I think choosing to come here is the best choice I ever made. My class, I'm so proud of the way we came in. They weren't great the year before we got here. We came in, fought to 7-3, which probably overachieved a little for the roster. We had sophomore year, won the conference, had a close playoff game with Macon, came up short. Last year, felt like we underachieved a little, but still 7-3. And then this year, I feel like our class really stepped up the leadership, the culture, and it came together. 10-0 season, another conference championship. Obviously, today we feel like we came up short. I know I and all the guys thought we were going to make a good run here. But I'm really proud of my class, this team, what we've created here, and I really think they're going to keep it going.
All good.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for joining us here for the press conference, and best of luck in the future.